Welcome back to my channel on linguistics and language learning. In this video, I'm going to share with you the concept of textual function, one of the functions introduced in systemic functional grammar or SFG. What is textual function? Textual function is a function of language that is used to organize experiences or ideas. Textual function organizes the flow of ideas to make them related to one another. Sometimes you have several pieces of information which are not related one another. So in order to confirm that they are related one another, we need to pay attention to the concept of textual functions applicable in those experiences. Now, most importantly, textual functions confirms the cohesiveness of ideas in a text. And you see that cohesiveness of ideas in a text guarantees the easy understanding of a text. So, in other words, we can say that textual functions helps you to make your text easily to understand. Now, textual function is realized in two elements. The first one is theme and the second one is rheme. Now, what are themes and what are rhemes? We can simply say that theme is what the speaker has in mind to start with. In other words, theme is the element that begins a clause. Whatever you want to say, and the first element that comes from your mind, that comes, for example, in oral speaking, whatever comes from your mouth, whatever comes first from your mouth is a theme. So the theme is the first element of a clause, and it is the point of emphasis. Therefore, you have to be careful in order to decide which word comes first or which element comes first in your clause, because it influences the organization of your ideas in a text. Now, theme influences the hearer and reader's interpretation of everything that follows in the discourse. You see, whatever clause you start with and whatever theme you use in that first clause will influence the rest of messages that you're going to deliver to your readers or to your hearers. The next element is rheme. Rheme is the element of a clause excluding theme. Rather than themes, the other elements in a clause is called rheme. Because a clause consists of theme and rheme, so once you identify theme, and then rheme must also be identified as well, because the rest is the rheme. Rheme has a function to control the clause, to control the theme, and it is a place where the theme is developed. For example, you may have the same theme, but you may have the different message. Depends on the rheme of your clause. Now, the question is how to identify themes. How do we identify themes? Themes can be identified based on two factors. The first one is order, and the second one is marker. And identification of theme based on the order of the elements of a clause is the characteristics of most of languages in the world. So in most of languages in the world, themes are characterized by the order. What is it? What comes first in a clause is a theme, or the theme is the initial element of a clause. Meanwhile, there are few languages in the world where themes are identified based on certain markers, including Batak language and Japanese language. But most of the languages in the world use order as the factor or as the element used to identify themes. Now, let's go on with identifying theme by order. Why? Because we focus on English language, and English language themes are identified by the order. Now, let's see four clauses. And please look at these four clauses carefully. And you can find here that whatever comes in the first clause serves as the theme of the clause. So the theme of the first clause is the man, and the theme of the second clause is carelessly. The theme of the third clause is sad, and the theme of the last clause is that watch. You can find that the theme position is occupied by different elements of a clause. The first one, the man. The man is a nominal group, and this is participant or first participant. Meanwhile, in the second clause, the theme is the circumstance or circumstance of manner. And the third theme is composed of process. You can see this is really unusual when we begin a clause by using a process, but that happens in reality. Sometimes, you can find in some newspapers, for example, that a clause is initialized by a process element. And the last one here, although that watch also belongs to participant, but this is quite unusual because this is not the first participant. This is not participant one, but this is participant two, which is usually located after the process. And you can find that this is quite unusual to say that watch we have been looking for, instead of saying we have been looking for that watch. Nevertheless, these clauses are acceptable in English, but they are constructed by using different elements as the first elements of the clause. Now, let's find out theme types. This is very important in order to identify which elements are themes. So we need to know the theme types. There are three types of themes. The first one is topical themes, the second one is interpersonal themes, and the last one is textual themes. Topical themes are composed of transitivity elements. So they include participants, process, and circumstances. So these are the elements of topical themes, and they can become the themes of a clause. The next one is interpersonal themes that include vocatives, modal adjuncts, finite elements, and WH interrogatives. And the last one is textual elements are composed of continuatives, conjunctions, conjunctive adjuncts, and WH relatives. So you can find that these elements are the elements that can serve as the themes of a clause. Other than these elements cannot serve as the theme of the clause. Now, it is very important to talk about marked themes and unmarked themes because this issue has been discussed in many studies, especially those focused on textual function studies. Now, let's define what mark is. Mark is unusual Marked is uncommon. Marked is extraordinary. So we can say that when we use marked themes, we use the themes which are unusual, which are not commonly found, yeah, in clauses. Meanwhile, unmarked themes are usual themes, common themes, ordinary themes, the themes which are commonly found in clauses. Now, marked themes and unmarked themes are defined based on topical theme. So if you want to decide whether this theme is marked or unmarked, you have to see the topical theme used in that clause. In other words, textual themes and interpersonal themes are not used to identify marked and unmarked themes. Now, let's see the examples. The first clause belongs to unmarked theme. Why does it belong to unmarked theme? Because the theme here, the stranger, is usual, because that is how we usually construct a sentence. That's how we usually make a sentence or a sentence or a clause. We usually begin with participant. So this is the example of usual theme. Now, let's see the second example. This is marked theme. Why is it marked theme? Because the clause is initialized by the process set. So this is unusual. Yeah, it is uncommon to start a clause with process. Therefore, it belongs to marked theme. Now, the other issue, which is also important to discuss in the study of theme and rheme, is simple versus multiple themes. You see here that when we are talking about simple, multiple, we are talking about numbers. Simple theme is a clause which is composed of only one theme. Okay? In other words, whenever you find a clause and in that clause there is only one theme, that clause is called a simple theme clause. And when in one clause there are more than one themes, so that clause belongs to a multiple theme clause. If it is a simple theme, it is composed of only a topical theme. In other words, there is no any single clause without a topical theme. All of the clauses must have a topical theme. However, there is only one topical theme allowed in one clause. So you can understand that topical theme is a theme that must be found in one clause. In other words, it is an obligatory theme. Every clause must have a topical theme. Nevertheless, you can have only one topical theme in one clause. Meanwhile, even though interpersonal themes and textual themes are not obligatory, they are optional. In other words, in one clause, you can find interpersonal theme or textual theme, or you cannot find them because they are optional. However, if interpersonal theme or textual theme is used in one clause, you can find that a clause can consist of more than one interpersonal theme or more than one textual theme. So it is different from a topical theme. A topical theme is obligatory, but there must be only one topical theme. But in a multiple theme, you may have more than one interpersonal theme, and more than one textual theme. But once again, I remind you, there must also be a topical theme in a multiple theme. So a multiple theme cannot be composed of only interpersonal theme and textual theme. No. You must have there a topical theme. Now, let's see the example. Jack told the truth. And you can see here we have only one theme, that is Jack. And Jack here is an element of topical theme because it is a participant. Therefore, it belongs to a simple theme. We have only one theme there. The next one, the other example of a simple theme is in Tokyo, they bought the shoes. You see here, we have only one theme. We have only a topical theme that is in Tokyo. Okay? So this also belongs to a simple theme. Now, I give you the example of a multiple theme. Okay? We have here two kinds of themes. The first one is then, which belongs to continuative. So continuative is textual theme. And then we have here he, participant, the element of transitivity. So it belongs to a topical theme. Now we have two kinds of theme. Whenever we have more than one theme in one clause, that theme is called a multiple theme. Okay, now let's combine simple versus multiple theme and marked versus unmarked theme. Thus, we have this one. Okay, so we have here a table. You see, we have here some points to be joined, unmarked, marked, and simple multiple. Based on this classification, we have four kinds of theme. The first one is UST, unmarked simple theme. We have here unmarked, we have simple, so we have here unmarked simple theme. We have here unmarked, we have here multiple, so we have unmarked multiple theme. And here we have marked and simple to construct marked simple theme. And we have marked and multiple to construct MMT, marked multiple theme. So we can say that unmarked simple theme is composed of only one theme, okay? Because it is simple, composed of only one theme, and that theme is unmarked. Meanwhile, unmarked multiple theme, even though the theme is unmarked, the theme is usual, the theme is common, but there are two or more than two themes in that clause. Next, marked simple theme. The theme is composed of only one element, but that element is marked. That element is unusual. So we have here marked simple theme. Meanwhile, marked multiple theme, we have more than one theme, and the topical theme in that clause is marked, is unusual. Now let's see some examples. Okay, now the first example, Jack told the truth. You can find that we have only one theme here, that is Jack, okay? And that is transitivity element. Now, in order to define whether this is marked theme or unmarked theme, we see here that Jack is the first participant. And if it is the first participant, so it must be unmarked. So when we combine unmarked with simple, so we have here unmarked simple theme. Now, the second example. The second example, you see here that in Tokyo, they bought the shoes. And we also have here only one theme that is in Tokyo. But it is different from the first example. if in the first example we have Jack, the first participant, as the theme, but here we have a circumstance as the theme. As I told you earlier, when we have a circumstance as a theme, that is unusual. If it is unusual, it belongs to marked theme. So because it is simple, so it is marked simple theme. So this clause is composed of marked simple theme. Now, let's see further examples. Then they left to Bali yesterday. You see here that we have two kinds of themes. The first one is then, okay, as a textual theme, and we have here they as a topical theme. So this is multiple theme. Now let's see whether it is marked or unmarked. You find here that they is participant one, so it is usual. If it is usual, it belongs to unmarked. So this clause has an unmarked multiple theme. The next example, then yesterday they left to Bali. You see here that I keep then here as the textual element, but I moved yesterday to the beginning of a clause or to the position before the participant, before participant one. So you can see here that yesterday is circumstance, and this is quite unusual to be used as the subject of a clause. So we have here mark multiple theme. We have two themes, and then we have circumstance as a topical theme. The last example, you see that we have here three kinds of theme. We have textual, we have interpersonal, and we have topical themes. So in order to decide whether this is unmarked or marked theme, we have to look at the element of a topical theme. And you find here Dodi, and Dodi is participant one. Because it is participant one, then the theme is unmarked. So we combine with multiple, so we have here unmarked multiple theme. Yeah, in conclusion, you can find that theme, okay? Theme is the element that comes first in a clause, but themes may be either simple or multiple. So you may have only one theme in one clause or more than one theme in one clause. Whatever it is, you must have a topical theme in every clause. Okay, as you see here, the example, we have here three last examples. And in each of these examples, you always find a topical theme. Meanwhile, in the first clause, you cannot find any textual or interpersonal theme. So we have exactly only one theme, that is topical theme. In the second and third example, although we have here textual, we have here interpersonal, but still you must have a topical theme. Okay, well, everybody, that's the end of my explanation about textual function. I hope you can understand it well. And please do a lot of practice on identifying themes in classes. See you in the next video.